to be our strategic partner in Jio platforms.
This partnership is a key part of Google's next chapter of investment in India.
Google joins the Jio party, will invest 33,737 crore rupees for a 7.7% stake in Jio platforms. This is the 14th investment in the company in 12 weeks, taking the total funds raised to over 1.52 lakh crore rupees. Reliance becomes the first company in the world to have Google and Facebook as strategic partners.
Google and Jio are partnering to build an Android-based smartphone operating system.
Jio gets ready to dial the smartphone market, will join hands with Google to build an Android-based smartphone operating system. The new OS will be used to power entry-level 4G and 5G smartphones at a fraction of a cost.
This capability and know-how that Jio has developed positions Jio on the cutting edge of another exciting frontier, 5G.
Jio sets its sight on shaking up the 5G market. Chairman Mukesh Ambani says the company is ready with an in-house world-class 5G solution, adds that Jio platforms will be positioned to be an exporter of 5G solutions to other telecom operators globally as a complete managed service.
The catastrophic impact of climate change calls for the legacy energy industry to reinvent itself on a war footing.
Reliance Industries aims to become net carbon zero by 2035, plans a two-pronged strategy of using new technology to make carbon a recyclable resource and transform energy business with a good mix of solar, hydrogen and batteries. RIL Chairman Mukesh Ambani says the deal with Saudi Aramco has not progressed as per original timeline due to unforeseen circumstances, adds that Reliance Industries is committed to a long-term partnership with Saudi Aramco. Just like Jio, Reliance Retail to induct global partners and investors over the next few quarters. Chairman Mukesh Ambani says it has already received strong interest from strategic and financial investors. Dalal Street erases smart gains clocked in the first half of the day and indices close with marginal gains. Sensex falls 758 points from the day's high to close just 18 points higher. Nifty drops 209 points from the day's peak to end 10 points in the green. India's COVID-19 tally rises to around 9.4 lakh and active cases now stand at near 3.2 lakh. But active cases see the lowest single-day rise in the last 4 days. Delhi reports a drop in active cases for the 8th consecutive day, pushing its recovery rate to 81%, the highest in the country. Those are the headlines that we're tracking for you at this hour. This is a show where our team at CNBC TV 18 gets you the top stories of the day. I'm Arundhati Ramnin, and you're watching Reporter's Diary. With one eye on consolidating Jio's presence in digital and consumer tech space and another on spearheading India's foray into the 5G age, Reliance Chairman Mukesh Ambani laid down the roadmap for India's largest conglomerate at its 43rd annual general meeting. The AGM, held online for the first time in the company's history, served as a launchpad for the company's aspirations to establish Jio as a digital and telecom behemoth. Let's quickly take you through the key announcements. Google joins the Jio party, will invest 33,737 crore rupees for 7.7% stake in Jio platforms. The investment by Google is the 14th in 12 weeks and takes Jio's total fundraise to over 1,52,000 crore rupees. Remember, this makes Reliance the only company in the world to boast of Facebook and Reliance as strategic investors. The Jio-Google partnership could shake up the mobile phone market, with RIL Chairman Mukesh Ambani announcing that Jio and Google would join hands to develop an Android-based operating system. The OS will be used to power Jio's entry-level 4G and 5G smartphones at a fraction of a cost. Mukesh Ambani also sounded the bugle on the 5G vision. He said that Jio is ready with a world-class 5G solution, which can be deployed and launched in a year's time once spectrum is available. Ambani added that Jio platforms would be well positioned to export 5G solution post the India rollout, this could potentially stir things up in the global 5G race. As China faces the heat with both the US and UK deciding to snap ties with the likes of Huawei, telecom aside, RIL chairman also laid down the blueprint for Reliance's retail expansion. He said that the company will induct global partners and investors into Reliance Retail in the next few quarters. He added that JioMart's rollout has also been accelerated. Mukesh Ambani also threw light on the proposed deal with Saudi Aramco. He said that the deal has not progressed as per the original timeline due to unforeseen circumstances, and added that Reliance Industries is committed to a long-term partnership with Saudi Aramco.
Let me welcome Google to be our strategic partner in Jio platforms. Today, we have signed a binding partnership and an investment agreement with Google, under which Google will invest 33,737 crores for a 7.7% stake in Jio platforms. With this investment by Google, strategic and financial investors have committed a total of 152,056 crores in the last few months. I have great pride in announcing that Jio has designed and developed a complete 5G solution from scratch. This will enable us to launch a world-class 5G service in India using 100% homegrown technology and solution. This made in India 5G solution will be ready for trials as soon as 5G spectrum is available and can be ready for field deployment next year. And because of Jio's converged all IP network architecture, we can easily upgrade our 4G network to 5G. Once Jio's 5G solution is proven at India scale, Jio platforms would be well positioned to be an exporter of 5G solutions to other telecom operators globally as a complete managed service. I dedicate Jio's 5G solution to our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi's highly motivating vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Rima Tendulkar joins us now with more on Jio Platforms' plans. Rima, over to you.
Well, the three big announcements surrounding Jio Platform. One, as you said, Google will be investing about 33,737 crore for a 7.7% stake. Google is going to come in as a strategic partner, which is same as Facebook, which is why Google's valuation at 4.36 lakh crore for Jio Platforms at an equity level is the same as that of Facebook, while the other financial investors like Mubadala, etc., had come in at a higher valuation of 4.91 lakh crore. The total investment which has been made so far in Jio Platforms stands at 1.52 lakh crore for a total of 33% stake. Point number two, the company has said, or Mukesh Ambani has said, that they have launched a made-in-India 5G solutions. Now, this will be ready for trial once the spectrum is auctioned, and once it is tested in India, they will export their 5G solution to other operators globally. Now, what is the benefit of having your in-house 5G solution? One, it reduces your dependence on companies like, on network operators like Huawei, Ericsson, Samsung, etc. You're not dependent on a particular geography. So, as the COVID pandemic threw out, supply issues will not be a concern. And secondly, there is a very interesting export opportunity which could open up, which is something Mukesh Ambani alluded to, because a lot of, there are concerns surrounding the security by Chinese operators, particularly Huawei. So can in Jio fill in those shoes as a network operator? And the third big announcement for Jio Platform is that Google and Jio Platform will together launch a entry-level smartphone which will be based on an Android, which will have an Android-based operating smartphone. So Google is going to help in the software as well as hardware, because what Mukesh Ambani also referred to was perhaps a 4G, manufacturing a 4G or perhaps even a 5G smartphone at a fraction of their cost. So three big announcements. One, Google investment. Secondly, the Made in India 5G solution. And thirdly, launching the Android-based operating system.
All right, Rima, thank you so much for those details. But let's go across to the Infosys management, who are outlining their first quarter numbers for us.
This was achieved after rewarding our employees with higher variable pay. Our employees have displayed incredible dedication and resilience and have been an integral part of our Q1 performance. Our large deal wins were at 1.7 billion in the quarter. I'm also happy to report that yesterday we announced a landmark digital transformation engagement with Vanguard. We will partner with Vanguard to drive digital transformation of their record-keeping services onto a cloud-based platform. Coupled with our strong Q1 results, this gives us a powerful foundation for the rest of the year. Notwithstanding the large stimulus programs in the US and Europe, there are still economic uncertainties in those markets as there are still emerging medical scenarios. There are also emerging medical outcomes in India that are not fully known. However, with what we have learned in Q1 and ongoing strong client connects, we feel the strength of our franchise is coming through clearly. And with that, we will reinstate our guidance. For the full financial year, our revenue growth guidance is 0% to 2% year-on-year growth in constant currency. Our operating margin guidance for the full year is 21 to 23%. Questions?
Thank you, Salil. And with that, we will now open the floor for Q&A. Joining Salil, we have Rao, COO Infosys, and Roy, CFO Infosys. In the interest of time and to give everyone a fair chance, can I please request our friend to ask one question per person only? We will now move on to our questions. Our first question is from Kritika Saxena from CNBC.
Hi, gentlemen. Good to see you, albeit virtually. Salil, you've given a guidance. You've gotten back to giving out the guidance for FY21. And the margin figure as well seems to be that you are set to expand margins. You have actually come in with a good set of margins in this quarter as well. Help us understand what the recovery trajectory is going to look like. Can we assume then that recovery is going to be back on track in the September period, roughly September to December period? And very quickly, a couple of questions as far as the margin trajectory is concerned. Nilanjan, can you just break up margins for this quarter? What was the exact impact of COVID-19 pandemic? I believe that you took in the full impact. So how were you able to expand margins in that time period? What was the kind of operational efficiencies you saw? And, Praveen, to you, I wanted to just get a quick sense. You had said last quarter that you're going to try to absorb all the commitments that you have made with respect to employee engagement, lateral hires, campus hires. Can you give us some numbers? And, there have been some reports on possible involuntary attrition in mid and senior level roles. Can you give some clarity on that? And also the attrition figure has come down quite substantially. So some color on that as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question, Kritika. I think in terms of demand and where we see the business scenarios, we felt that in Q1 we had a very good
Well, that was the Infosys management outlining their first quarter numbers, which was a beat on all fronts. But with that, it is a wrap on this edition of Reporter's Diary. Many thanks for watching, but stay tuned to CNBC TV 18. More news and updates continue on the other side.